Well, the jib's all scraped in, but there's sod all adjustment left on that jib. I think that might need to be replaced because it's going down right the way, and that's not because I've had to scrape a shed load off. I think it was just not that good to start with. To be fair, it didn't need a lot of work to get it nice and flat, but I say that's going down quite a lot. Getting square holes isn't difficult. If you were doing this in production, you know, this is a pillar drill, it's not a piece of exotic equipment. You just set it up, slap it on a jig, whack the holes in. It's got to be quicker than trying to do it by hand. Well, that's the new land for the encoder bracket. There's the holes that have been filled, and 2 new M5 holes, and that's been filed and scraped perfectly flat and square to that surface. So the new encoder bracket will come off there. And we've rounded all these edges off so that's ready for some primer. First pass for the vertical carriage, and it's clear. It's I've done this several times, and it's still only touching in a few places. It seems to me that this scraping pattern is just that. They've just put a pattern on it. It hasn't been scraped in. It hasn't been matched to the slideway. It's just a pretty pattern, and you might get a bit of oil retention, but it's nowhere near flat and really not good enough. So again, as with the other carriage, a lot of scraping to make sure that you get good even contact across the whole face. That one was just as bad. So after a couple of hours of scraping, I'm generally happy with the result. This is the final blew up, so I blew this up rather than the main bed, and I'm looking for an even spread of high points basically, and I've just scraped a couple of little particularly high points off, but generally when I look along I've got an even spread, I say, of those high points. So we'll call that a job done. And this is the last jib for the vertical carriage, and you don't need any engineer's blue to know that this is rubbish. It's got a big hollow bit, but worse than that, you can just see it's not flat because it's rocking. So that's going to need a fair bit of work. We'll try and get that straight first, and then clearly there's just a point contact. Oh Christ, I can feel a lump in the middle of that. That's going to need some work. These are the dowel pins that locate the bracket in here, and they can't even get those straight. Now these should have been machined. Well, I'm assuming these were machined at the same time all these other holes were machined. I just don't see how you can get anything this far out. It's really quite bad. And that's not a little bit out. That's quite a lot out.